Hi, I started this channel as an AI faceless channel to take myself out of financial rut. At that time, motivational, faceless motivational videos were hitting so good. So I decided to jump in. However, as you may know, YouTube is a strategy. And so that didn't work out for me. And I kept going on and off, on and off. It's been 3 years now, faceless channel. The thing is, I have valuable material. I have something to share to the world, but I keep hiding behind AI. There's no need to hide behind AI. If you have something valuable to share with the world, if it's worth doing at all, then it's worth doing well. So I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of being afraid of being judged or not being good enough. And here I am today, revealing my face and my whole self, my inconsistencies, my lack of ability, my lack of skill. I haven't learned to speak yet. I practice and practice, but it doesn't work. So I'm showing up. I have something to share. So please stay tuned. I felt like a fraud because my channel is the excellence catalyst, and then I procrastinate and not show up as I should. I don't follow through with what I decide to do. At the beginning of this year, I decided to do a 12-week video challenge in which I show up every week while I was doing the faceless channel. So I would post a video every week for 3 months, for 12 weeks. And by the fifth week, I gave in. It was challenging, it was not easy. So I stopped. And the longer that I waited, the more I hid, the more the channel felt like an unfinished project. That ends here. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact pattern that kept me stuck and the framework I'm using to climb out. I'm not coming from a finished place. I'm not a guru. I'm not a master. I haven't studied this perfectly. I'm trying to help myself out, and in the process, I'm building publicly so everyone else can follow along and learn with me. I'm right in the middle of the rebuild. A lot of us men, we don't fail in a dramatic way. There's no loud crash, there's no boom, there's no fire. Nothing dramatic happens. When we fail, we fade. We gently and slowly fade away into life. I call it avoidance without drama. You take care of your bills, you take care of your responsibilities, everything gets done, and you're functioning just fine. But underneath all that routine is a quiet dullness, a low level fog which you can't quite put your hands on. And that was me, employed, functional, and slowly becoming a stranger to the version of myself that I wanted to build. I stayed behind the camera because it was comfortable. It gave me what I now call plausible deniability. Well, if the channel never grew, then I had a way out. I had an excuse. But that's the trap. Not really starting is actually a choice that you make. It's the choice to drift. Procrastination isn't a lack of time. It is a lack of structural integrity. You keep buying ease today, but the bill does not disappear. It comes back later in form of unexplainable anxiety, a restlessness you can't trace, a feeling that something very important is slipping away from your fingertips. If you feel that right now, that sense that you're functioning, but you're not building, this video is for you. If you don't know, standing still long enough starts becoming moving backwards. Here's what drift leads to if you let it run too long. When you stop demanding anything meaningful of yourself, you don't find peace, you find a vacuum. A life of comfort eventually becomes a structural failure of identity. You look fine on the outside, but you become a stranger to your own fire and your desires. I fell into that later trap, waiting for motivation to arrive before I did the work. But motivation is a luxury. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation doesn't show up. And for me, discipline isn't just practical, it is something spiritual. A man is not forged by what he desires, but by what weight he's willing to bear, to carry the responsibility. We think we want an easy life, but a man without weight is a man without an anchor. You can have intention, and you can have a vision, but without systems, without containment, they just stay in your head. And a man full of unfulfilled intentions is a man in waiting. He is in drift. That's where I was. And that's why this channel existed in silence for many years. Good intentions, but no architecture. So, what does the rebuild actually look like? I use a framework that I call the 4 layers of reconstruction. Think of it as a foundation. You can't build anything above until you fix what is beneath or on the inside. So the first layer, the foundation, is the heart. In Islam, we call this Islah al-Qalb. This is cleansing of any corruption that's in the heart and being sincere. You gotta return to sincerity. For me, that means admitting the truth before God, not the polished version of myself or the AI voice I presented online, but the real me, the real person you see on the screen. The one who quits, the one who's inconsistent, the one who hides. This is where reconstruction has to start from. Then the second layer is the mind, building frameworks of clarity so your mind stops running in circles. The drift happens in the mind before it happens in real life. You have to think differently before you act differently. The third layer is the body. That's physical discipline, proving to yourself that you can endure discomfort. When your body does hard things consistently, your mind starts to believe. When your body does hard things consistently, your mind begins to believe that you are someone who does hard things consistently. The body teaches identity. The fourth layer, which is the expression, is your life, your work, your family, your structure. Order in the outside life is as a result of the 3 layers beneath it working. My 12-week plan failed because I tried to fix the life without fixing the heart. I built a schedule and I called it a system, but the root was still not untouched. It's like putting plaster on a cracked foundation, and that's the 4 layers of the inner reconstruction. Okay, so far I have about 57 subscribers. Thank you so much. You did not subscribe to see a guru. You subscribed because you wanted to see the rebuild. That's exactly what you're going to get. The drift stops here. One video at a week. And if I feel even much better, I'm gonna fast track that. I might do 2 videos a week. One habit at a time. Face the camera. No more drifting. No more hiding. So I'm gonna ask you, what boring task did you avoid in the past few days? Put it down in the comment. Let's get back to work, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.